The story opens with a woman deliberately causing trouble. She notices Hong Tae working high up and secretly pulls away the electric wire tangled around the ladder. Tae loses balance and leaps forward, grabbing the crystal chandelier. For a moment she thinks she's safe until the chandelier snaps under her weight and crashes violently to the floor. She is rushed to the hospital for a CT scan. The doctor explains that her memory center has been stimulated and her memories may soon return. He reminds her to stop taking the medication for the time being. Moments later, Tae wakes up from the hospital bed, and her sister Hong Yura hurries over with false concern, telling her she's lucky she didn't get hit by the chandelier. Tae quietly admits she had a strange dream about a girl fighting a group of people, the same scene repeating every day. She feels that the girl is herself, but she's not certain. Yura, suddenly tense, asks what else she remembers, but Tae can't explain it. Yura reminds her it has been 15 years since the accident. Why hasn't her memory returned? Then Tae remembers she must attend her husband Pyo Jae-hyun's inauguration ceremony that evening. She invites Yura to join, and Yura immediately agrees, saying there's someone there she wants to meet. That night, Tae arrives at the venue in a white gown and tries to call her sister, but no one answers. As Jae-hyun goes inside to get a bottle of wine, Yura suddenly appears behind him, startling him. Tae looks around nervously and asks how she got in. What if Haesu sees her? But Yura is unfazed. She takes off her coat and wraps her arms around Pyo Jae-hyun's neck intimately. Pyo Jae-hyun panics, and the bottle slips from his hand, shattering on the floor. Moments later, Go Haesu, Tae's close friend, arrives. Tae has prepared a special gift for her, and Haesu blushes when she opens it. Tae tells her to enjoy her romantic evening and that Jae-hyun went in to get wine and will join her soon. But when Haesu enters the room, she finds spilled wine on the floor. In the bedroom, the sheets are messy. Something clearly happened. She hears the shower running and thinks Jae-hyun is inside, not knowing a woman is hiding there. Jae-hyun steps out looking nervous, but Haesu doesn't suspect anything. After she leaves to change her clothes, Yura boldly walks out of the bathroom, acting completely unbothered. Haesu helps adjust her clothes, noticing her flushed face and assuming she drank too much. Jae-hyun quickly explains she's just tired. Yura's provocative smile infuriates Jae-hyun, and he signals for her to leave. She finally walks away reluctantly. Haesu decides to use the bathroom, and that's when she sees it. An earring. In that instant, everything makes sense. That evening during a group dinner, Yura casually mentions she already has someone she's seeing. Jae-hyun stiffens in shock, but Haesu stays silent. Only after Tae calls her name does she regain focus. She asks Jae-hyun if someone visited earlier. He denies it and accuses her of overreacting like a reporter. Embarrassed, he storms out. A friend urges Haesu to follow him and teach that rascal a lesson. Yura smirks mischievously. When they return home, Haesu and Jae-hyun argue again. Feeling guilty, Jae-hyun pretends to be offended and walks out of the house. Furious and heartbroken, Haesu grabs the earring and drives after him, hoping to catch him with Yura. But she loses him at a red light. Jae-hyun goes to a hotel where Yura is already waiting. On the way home, Haesu remembers her father's murder and the unresolved pain. She tries drinking to numb herself, but the memories won't fade. In despair, she smashes the bottle and picks up a shard of glass, ready to end it all when Tae runs in just in time to stop her. The next day, Haesu hands Tae a photo. Someone sent it to her claiming the woman in the photo is the real murderer who killed her father, and told her to look for her at Hanwha Psychiatric Hospital. Tae asks who sent it, but Haesu doesn't know, only that the courier wore a helmet with a skull mark. This immediately catches Tae's attention. They arrive at the hospital together, and the moment they reach the entrance, Tae notices a camouflage jacket in a small cart. Something about it triggers a memory. Hong Tae walks off toward another direction, holding the photograph of the mysterious woman who might be connected to Go Haesu's father's murder. When Mayor Jo hears that this person could be tied to the case, she freezes in shock. Meanwhile, Tae reaches a courtyard and notices a doghouse. She naturally reaches inside only to accidentally trigger a hidden switch. A door suddenly unlocks. Curious, Tae steps into the basement. A flicker of movement behind her makes her tense. Then, in the mirror, she sees the reflection of a young girl. Tae slowly approaches. When she lifts her hand toward the image, a sudden ringing sound pierces her ears. She sees flashes of the girl fighting with a group of people, memories she cannot explain. The pain surges through her mind. She remembers she wasn't just anyone. She had once been Korea's top professional assassin, known as Number 50. Even the former president could not escape her perfect kill shot. But after completing a major mission, her own organization tried to eliminate her. They failed. She survived, but her face was altered and her entire memory erased. She began a new life as Hong Tae-ra, believing she would live peacefully forever. Until she accidentally entered this basement and awakened everything. Suddenly, a group of armed men rushes in. Instinct takes over. Tae-ra dodges, counters, and in one swift reach, realizes she still has the reflexes of a trained killer. She brings several men down with precision, fluid movement, perfect timing. One man charges with a knife, but Tae-ra disarms him instantly and knocks him to the ground. Another female assassin lunges. Tae-ra throws the knife in her hand, the blade buries itself into the wooden wall behind the attacker. Tae-ra turns and runs, but more men surround her. A man descends the stairs slowly, demanding to know who she is. Hearing his voice, Tae-ra freezes as more memories hit her. He was her former instructor. He orders his men to seize her. Tae-ra reacts instantly, flipping one to the ground with a single blow. Shocked, the instructor commands everyone to attack. Tae-ra realizes she's outnumbered and must escape. She dives, vaults over an iron gate, kicks open a sewer cover, and slips inside, escaping pursuit. She bursts through the door of her sister Hong Yura's place, furious, holding the photos. "Is this me?" she demands. "You knew all along I wasn't the real Tae-ra." Seeing she can no longer hide the truth, Yura finally confesses. The real Hong Tae-ra, her biological sister, died in a car accident. Before filing the death records, someone offered money to borrow Tae-ra's identity. Yura met number 50 15 years ago in a hospital in France, broken, barely alive. Bringing her back from the brink was a miracle. Those people paid Yura handsomely to reshape her face into that of her dead sister and give her the identity of Hong Tae-ra. "You didn't remember anything," Yura says coldly. "And they gave me a fortune. So I made you Hong Tae-ra." Tae-ra demands to know who forced her into this life, but Yura refuses, claiming they signed a contract. Tae-ra, devastated, accuses her of fabricating her entire existence. Yura retorts, "Why are you so angry? I gave you the best life. The most successful husband in Korea, the most luxurious villa, a life other people can't even dream of, and a beautiful daughter."
Only then does Tae-ra realize every act of kindness from her sister was nothing but a facade bought with money. Yura ends their relationship coldly. "My job was only to take care of you until the day your memories returned. From now on, everything between us is over." Tae-ra begs to know who orchestrated her suffering. But Yura tells her to find out on her own, and even her marriage to Pyo Jae-hyun was part of the plan. She warns Tae-ra not to waste time and to focus on protecting her family. Shaken, Tae-ra leaves. At the same time, Mayor Jo has fingerprints analyzed and discovers the truth. Number 50 is Hong Tae-ra. She's still alive. Later, a man confronts a woman, lifts her chin, and tears off her ear, revealing it is fake. His eyes sharpen with murderous certainty. Hong Tae-ra is number 50. She had disguised herself as the daughter of a wealthy family, living a high-class life with a powerful husband and a lovely daughter. "You don't deserve that life," the man growls, ordering his men to take her. Tae-ra resists, only to be slapped hard to the floor. But the moment he turns his head, she strikes back and subdues him, then grabs a vase and smashes it over another attacker's head. Knives come out, and a brutal fight erupts. She is thrown across the room and crashes violently to the ground. Just as the man closes in for the kill, the doorbell rings. Tae-ra uses the distraction to kick him back and sprints away. Moments later, Go Hae-soo arrives, unaware of the chaos. She gasps at the mess and reaches for her phone to call the police, but Tae-ra stops her, insisting she accidentally caused the damage herself. Hae-soo doesn't press the issue. She treats Tae-ra's wounds and tells her not to face things alone, that she can call her anytime. As Hae-soo stands up to leave, she notices something under the sofa. An earring. Tae-ra quickly snatches it away, leaving Hae-soo confused. Then a phone call comes in. Investigators have found new information from Hanyue Psychiatric Hospital. They know something. Something big. No one knew who number 50 really was. After Go Hae-soo left, Hong Tae-ra fell into deep anxiety. Her gaze landed on a nearby photo, instantly reminding her of the 15 years of sincere love she had shared with her husband, Pyo Jae-hyun. Concerned, she called Jae-hyun, hoping he would come home so they could talk. But he replied that he had an important meeting. Before finishing his sentence, Tae heard a strange sound in the background, one that made her heart tighten. When Jae-hyun quickly hung up, her worry intensified. She suspected he might be near Hanwha Psychiatric Hospital again. She begged him to avoid that woman, but Jae-hyun simply flipped his phone and said coldly, "I'm busy. If you have something to say, make it quick." Then Madame Jang's voice came through, saying she had something important he must hear. Terrified, Tae rushed out and drove toward the company. But before getting far, a man hiding in the back seat pressed a knife to her neck and forced her to drive into a remote forest. "This is where you die," the man threatened. Tae remained calm, telling him that if he wanted her life, he could take it, just not to harm her husband or child because they knew nothing. The man laughed, saying he would destroy everything she treasured. Before he realized what was happening, she slammed her foot on the accelerator, crashing the car straight into a large tree. Tae tried to escape, but the man knocked her down with the car door and kicked her hard. She fought back, but he was much stronger. He threw her into a tree, knocking the wind out of her. As she lay on the ground, he pulled out a dagger to end her life. Tae grabbed a fallen wooden stick and stabbed him directly. The man screamed in agony. She used the moment to flee and eventually reached the company. Seeing her husband safe was the only thing that eased her panic. But what came next shattered her. Jae-hyun held a press conference, announcing he would step down as chairman. Immediately after, he declared that he was running for president. Tae couldn't believe it. Then she heard a familiar voice, her daughter's. Standing beside her daughter was none other than Madame Jang. In that moment, Tae's memories surged back. She saw a young boy, her younger brother, standing not far away. And she remembered everything. Years ago, a woman heated a branding iron until it turned red and pressed it onto a wooden board, telling the terrified girl that from now on, her name was number 50. She then branded the same number onto the girl's chest. The girl had endured the pain because earlier, she and her brother had tried to escape. They were cornered by wild dogs. To save him, she covered her brother, and one dog tore off her ear. The siblings were dragged back and locked in a dark room. Madame Jang ordered her men to take the boy away. The girl begged, promising to do anything as long as they didn't kill her brother. Madame Jang told her that if she survived and became the best, she would reunite them. And so began her nightmare. Their training objective was to create killers. To see her brother again, the girl trained harder than anyone. She surpassed every assassin, fast, ruthless, able to assemble a gun in seconds and eliminate opponents effortlessly. Even Madame Jang admitted she would become their top weapon. Eventually, the girl saw her brother again, now marked as number 105. He too had been shaped into a killer. She tried to escape with him, but the organization caught them. Her brother was deliberately run down by a car and killed. She was struck and thrown off a cliff. 15 years later, seeing Madame Jang again awakened everything inside her. Tae pulled her daughter close and demanded to know what Madame Jang wanted. Madame Jang replied that Jae-hyun seemed interested in Tae's past. Now that he was running for president, it would be tragic if his life were destroyed. After returning home, Tae desperately tried to stop Jae-hyun from entering politics, fearing her past would ruin him, but Jae-hyun ignored her and carried their daughter upstairs. That night, Tae returned to the crash site. The blood was still in the car, but the assassin was gone. Suddenly, a vehicle approached. It was Go Hae-soo. She explained that she had received a distress message from Tae, which Tae had never sent. Confused and uneasy, Tae tried to pull her away. When Hae-soo saw the crash remains, she tried to call the police, but Tae stopped her. During their argument, Tae noticed a man in the distance wearing a skull mask. Combined with the strange signs in the car, she realized it was a trap. A sudden explosion sent both women flying. Hae-soo was dazed and confused, but Tae saw a motorcycle speeding away. Determined, she went alone to Madame Jang's office. Madame Jang mocked her bravery for coming alone. Tae demanded to know why she planted a bomb and tried to drag Hae-soo into it. "Do you think killing Hae-soo will hide the truth?" she asked. Madame Jang replied coldly, "You're the one hiding the truth. I don't even know why you're living this life. Terry finally said the words she had been afraid to admit. I lost my memory for 15 years. Hong Tae had only recently recovered the memory that she was number 50, and she desperately wanted to know who had given her a false identity. But nothing Jang Eun-hye said was trustworthy. She merely praised Tae's improved observation skills. Tae warned her never to appear again in front of her family or Go Hae-soo. Jang Eun-hye immediately pulled out a necklace and threatened her. Before she could finish, Tae snatched the necklace and pressed it against Jang Eun-hye's neck. She was convinced Jang Eun-hye had killed her brother. But instead of fear, Jang Eun-hye provoked her further, shouting for Tae to strike. Rage burned through Tae, and she threw the necklace to the floor. She did not kill her for only one reason. She needed her alive to find out who the true mastermind behind her suffering was. Then Tae tore off her own multimillion-won necklace and tossed it aside, calling it an advance payment. No one could have imagined two women who once trained together like sisters would become sworn enemies. Meanwhile, Go Hae-soo had discovered that one of the people involved in her father's murder was her closest friend, Hong Tae. But she still did not know the real mastermind behind it all was her father-in-law, Chairman Hwang. To uncover the connection between Hae-soo's father and Chairman Hwang, Tae went to a library to look for information. Suddenly, someone approached. It was Baisong, the bodyguard assigned to her by Chairman Hwang. He warned her that someone was following her. Tae turned and saw Mayor Cho walking toward her. She began to suspect that Chairman Hwang was behind everything. As thanks for his warning, Tae bought Baisong a coffee and reached out her hand in gratitude. But the moment Baisong touched her, he froze with a strange expression. Shocked, Tae accidentally spilled coffee on him. He told her to leave first, then went into the restroom alone. There he unbuttoned his shirt, revealing the number branded on his chest. He was her long-lost younger brother. But there was no warmth in his eyes. He now served Chairman Hwang completely. Chairman Hwang's cruelty had no limits. Because Mayor Cho had failed to assassinate Tae, he dismissed him with money. Later that day, Pyo Jae-hyun introduced Tae to his campaign team. Unexpectedly, Go Hae-soo arrived. She mocked Tae's supposed dream of becoming First Lady and said she wasn't qualified. Tae immediately sensed that Hae-soo's attitude had changed. Jang Eun-hye soon told her that Hae-soo already knew she was number 50. She would soon become a threat, and the only way out was to eliminate her. Tae refused. Jang Eun-hye warned her that if Hae-soo exposed Tae's identity as an assassin, her husband and daughter would be in danger. This was exactly Chairman Hwang's plan. He wanted Tae to kill Hae-soo herself. When she returned home, Baisong had not brought her daughter back. He said Go Hae-soo had taken the child. Tae immediately called to confirm and, hearing her daughter's voice, raced after them. Elsewhere, Hong Ura arrived at Jang Do-jin's residence and unexpectedly encountered Chairman Hwang. She knelt, begging him to allow her and Do-jin to be together, saying she wanted nothing, only Do-jin. At that moment, Do-jin walked in, pulled Ura up, and tried to take her away. But Chairman Hwang slapped him and ordered Ura to be sent overseas immediately, never to return. Ura tried to explain, but Do-jin dragged her outside and threw her to the ground. She threatened that if he forced her to leave, she would reveal their relationship to Go Hae-soo. Do-jin's expression turned cold and vicious. He warned her that if she said a single word, he would kill her. Her heart shattered on the spot. This scene was witnessed by Do-jin's friend Koo Sung-chan, who had brought flowers hoping to confess his feelings to Ura. But he realized she had only loved Do-jin, not him. His heart broke. Later, Ura sneaked into Sung-chan's room and found an important USB drive. But Sung-chan caught her. He finally understood that Ura had dated him only to steal his research data. Distraught, he confronted her. Ura fled during the chaos, but outside she was met by assassins sent by Chairman Hwang. She tried calling Tae, who was still chasing after Hae-soo. Soon after, Hong Ura was strangled to death. When Hong Tae and Go Hae-soo returned home, police were already investigating. Tae collapsed in agony at the sight of her sister's corpse. The police initially suspected suicide, but the burned body required further examination. Everyone had an alibi, except Koo Sung-chan. He sat in silence, waiting for his lawyer. He admitted he had chased Ura that night, but insisted he did not kill her. The most suspicious person, however, was Jang Do-jin, because Sung-chan had overheard him threaten Ura. During their confrontation, Pyo Jae-hyun angrily threw a photo of the three men on the floor and demanded a shareholders' meeting to remove Do-jin from the company. Their once inseparable brotherhood was destroyed. Originally, the three of them had founded the company and developed their chip project in hopes of saving Do-jin's brother, Jang Gyo-jin, who had been in a coma for years. But Sung-chan had begun to suspect that Do-jin himself had tampered with Gyo-jin's motorcycle before the accident. After hearing this, their mother fainted. Chairman Hwang, wanting Do-jin to inherit the company, even planned to kill Gyo-jin personally. Do-jin rushed in to stop him, threatening to cut ties if he harmed their mother or his brother. But when he later told his mother about the incident, she slapped him and declared he was unworthy of inheriting anything. Do-jin's belief in everything he had ever lived for collapsed. The scandal between Do-jin and Ura spread online, damaging the company and hurting Pyo Jae-hyun's presidential campaign. His opponent, candidate Han, gained momentum. During this crisis, Go Hae-soo suggested Jae-hyun appear on her show, not to hide, but to let voters see who he really was. Soon after, Jae-hyun and Hong Tae-ra arrived at the studio. As ratings skyrocketed, Hae-soo pushed harder, questioning why Tae-ra was always trying to reduce her exposure. Was she hiding a huge secret? As tension filled the studio, Hae-soo held up a photo and declared that the person in it was one of the murderers who killed her father.